At the start of summer of 2022, I was very, very excited to see that these two 10-pointers who I had been following for a couple of years now had finally started to show up on camera. One of these bucks is a 6-year-old 10-pointer that has very aggressive, really long brow tines. He's a little bit shorter, a little bit narrower buck. The other is a 5-year-old 10-pointer that's a taller buck that has very, very small brow tines. Both are mature bucks that I was planning on devoting my entire 2022 bow season towards. They would typically summer together, which was neat because I knew if I had one on camera, the other would eventually show up as well, as it was just a matter of time. I was able to see both of these bucks together midsummer in a soybean field. Little did I know that would be the last time I would see at least one of these two 10-pointers alive, as we were about to get hit right in the face with a EHD disease that was going to change everything. It's not a good day. Came out today to do some scouting, to look for a buck in particular. John boat. And looks like something got him before I did. Let's take a look. Don't look like any bullet holes. Man. Unfortunately, that 10-pointer was going to be the first of many dead bucks that I would find over the coming weeks. This is not good. Didn't see a single deer. I think this EHD is taking its toll. At this point in the season, after finding the remains of several bucks that I had been watching all summer, the tall brow tine 10-pointer was the only mature buck that I had on camera that I knew was still alive and well. A few weeks before opening day of bow season, a friend of mine sent me a picture of a tall brow tine 8-pointer that was a new deer that I was unfamiliar with. Needless to say, I was very, very excited to see that a new buck had shown up, and I was anxious to see if he was going to survive and be a deer that I could hunt this season. At the start of the 2022 archery season, it was extremely disappointing to see the effects of the EHD disease. Deer sightings were very, very few, as I would go several hunts without seeing a single deer. As the season progressed, I still had my heart set on that tall brow tine 10-pointer. As he's done in years past, once he sheds his velvet, the trail camera photos become fewer and fewer. Towards the end of September into the beginning of October, those were the last photos I received of the tall brow tine 10-pointer. So I'm shifting gears tonight. I'm hunting a different farm. I really got my heart set on that tall brow tine 10-pointer, but I just can't seem to get on him. I don't know where he is. Don't have any pictures of him. Seems like he does this every year during deer season. Really hope he's still alive. Doesn't, hope that the HD did not get him as well. Hunting a different farm tonight where there's a really nice 8-pointer hanging out here. He's got tall brow tines as well. I actually saw him about 3 weeks ago hunting this water hole. I was hunting on the west side of this water hole. He came by about 40 yards to the east. So I've kind of rotated my stand. Hopefully I'll be able to set up on him.
expect it to pick up here soon. Alright, didn't see anything tonight. Seems like that is the story of my 2022 bow season. Pretty uneventful. Just saw my first deer in 4 hunts. It was a fawn, but it still counts. Go a little scouting, and you never know what you're gonna find. I'm pretty sure I found the match to that one like 3 weeks ago. It's left over from last year.
Initially, I thought the buck that I was after was a tall brow tine 8-pointer. It wasn't until after he shed his velvet and he started to show up more on camera that I realized he was actually a tall brow tine 9-pointer.
Found 2 really nice scrapes this morning that are over my shoulder to my right. Unfortunately, there's just no good trees closer to them, so it's kind of off my back shoulder. If the buck comes down this road and works his way down to these scrapes, I should have a couple opportunities at some shots.
Now that the rut was starting and it's the beginning of November, I was extremely happy to start seeing some more deer and more buck activity.
So this year I've been trying to do a lot of new things, just because there's not that many deer around because of the hemorrhagic disease. So this morning, it's like November 9th, and the sun's not even up at 67 degrees, so not ideal. So I'm hunting a rub and scrape that's like 40 yards off of a highway in a ground blind, homemade ground blind. So
I saw a nice buck this morning chasing a doe. They were just outside of bow range. Seeing some rutting activity from a ground blind really boosted my excitement, even though they were just a little too far.
after the tall brow tine 9-pointer, I haven't got him on camera much lately, but a guy that lives in front of this field has him on camera as of recently, so we've seen the guy come from this area, so I just hope I don't get blown out of this tree tonight. God, I'm freaking so bad. I stood up to use the restroom, and I looked back there, and there's there's a buck standing there, like, I don't know, 80, 90 yards. Looked like a whole, like, big spike or three-pointer or something. So next thing I know, I get my grunt call and I grunt at him three times over the course of like a minute. He's just standing there looking at me. The next thing you know, I hear leaves crunching behind me, and I turn around, and this nice 8-pointer is walking right towards me. So I decided to pass him. I was able to get my camera up in time to get him on film, but man, that was cool. That was really, really cool. So it's like 10 o'clock in the morning, and bucks are on their feet. So just need something a little bit bigger.
To my surprise, the tall brow tine 9-pointer actually started to show up on camera in daylight. Unfortunately, rifle season was just a few days away, so I knew I had to act quick if I was going to have an opportunity at this buck. As rifle season began, I gave it a shot. I went a couple of times with my rifle, but it just didn't seem right. I missed my bow. I love bow hunting, and if I was going to have a shot at that 9-pointer, I really wanted to have it with a bow. All right, good morning. It's November 28th, and third day of rifle season, and it's about 4:30 in the morning right now. I'm taking my bow back out this morning. I'm just itching to take my bow. I'm going after the tall brow tine 9-pointer, and I'm hunting out of a ground blind this morning where about 3 weeks ago I saw a pretty nice buck pushing a doe about 50 yards into this pine cutover. And there's a really big rub that I've seen for probably 3 or 4 years during shed season, but it's just in a pine cutover and there's no trees to hunt out of. So back in the first part of October, I made a ground blind, and I saw that nice buck pushing the doe, again, about 50 yards out, and I think I just need to be a little bit deeper. So fortunately, there's a really big beech tree, a big beech tree that's fallen down, and I think I can hide in the canopy of that beech tree on the ground and get about 20 yards deeper into this pine cutover where I saw that buck prior. So really hoping that my plan pays off. Again, it's rifle season. I don't think this buck is going to make it long if he continues to show up in the daytime.
All right, today we're hunting on the ground, and I hunted this spot 3 weeks ago during the rut, and I had a nice buck pushing a doe right outside of bow range. I have a blind right over there. There's a big rub on a tree, but that doe walked right through here just out of my shooting range with that nice buck. So it's a pretty cool setup. You can see it's just a blown down beech tree. Oh my God. I just shot that 9-pointer at the tall brow tines. Like 5 minutes ago, I was doing kind of just like an interview wrap up, about to get out my stand or my blind. It's 8:39 on November 28th, and he just came walking by 25 yards. I hit him. I think I hit him kind of forward, but I dropped him in his tracks. Like I'm literally hunting in a pile of sticks. You can see my bow, and dropped him at 25 yards of the bow. Oh my God, I can't believe it. Time to start calling people. All right. I still cannot believe this just happened. I was hunting on the ground this morning, and it's rifle season. I'm with my bow and hoping this deer would come by. It was just something about this morning. I just knew it was going to happen. I honestly did. I set up, oh man, I can smell them. I set up in a fallen down beech tree, and when the sun came up, I just thought I need to get a little bit deeper because of my shooting lanes. So when the sun came up, I actually moved into a different spot of this big fallen down beech tree where I had more shooting. And I was filming an interview at about 8:30, thinking about getting up and going because I hadn't seen much of my back was hurting. He came strolling by. About 25 yards, I dropped him. I mean, dropped him. I think I hit him right in the shoulder, which isn't best. But man, he just dropped like a ton of bricks. I still cannot believe this happened during rifle season with the bow on the ground. My target buck. God, look at those brow tines. I cannot believe this just happened. Heck yeah.
All right, so that's the story of my 2022 bow season. Could not be happier with the buck that I was able to harvest. Definitely did not start out the greatest, but it was a hard, tough season that I'm glad I put the extra effort in. And I cannot wait to get this buck into my man cave.